But Midsummer's brain was already racing for a solution. She went to the pub's antiquated sash window and with her free hand hauled it open. Yep, the fire escape that led down from the roof was still in place. She clamped the phone against her shoulder and swung herself out and up. "Where are you?" said John, huffing down the phone as he ran. "They'll recognize Rennie from the blood fair. Take her straight to Buddha. But maybe I can intercept them and get her out. If Buddha hears about it, I'll say it was mistaken identity. She'll believe me over some guards." "What the hell is Rennie doing over there?" Midsummer demanded. Then she realized, and it pierced her. The kid would be looking for Abigail. Rennie had been inconsolable in the safe house following their escape from Corrigan Square this morning. She blamed herself for not being able to pull her friend onto one of the lions and was convinced that Abby was back in security's custody. Rennie had talked about cells beneath Buddha's offices, in which she and the men of the Boar had spent the night before the blood fair. Scouting out a rescue must have drawn her back to Parliament. "I'll try a distraction. Buy you time. Hang up. Go. Go," Midsummer told him, before stuffing the phone back in its pocket and clambering onto the roof. The snubbing post was an old bargeman's pub, and it stood almost flush to the Thames. From here, you could see across the river to the crenellated facade of the House of Light. Down near the muddy water margin, Midsummer made out 3 struggling figures. Rennie was putting up a fight, but they had hold of her, so it would be over soon. The equal lifted her eyes to the roof of the great debating chamber, saw what she needed, and launched her skill across the river. The target was crouched at one end of the roof gable, and Midsummer flinched as her skillful awareness slammed into it, waking it. It was much bigger than the lions she'd animated at Corrigan Square, long and powerful. She felt it shake out heavy hind limbs, claws raking the chamber roof, its massive jaws unhinged. Midsummer trembled as her skill flowed into a pair of wide wings. As her power filled the creature from snout to scaly tail, she drove the wings down. She heard an intake of breath beside her. Dawson and Emily were standing there, gaping. "Is that?" came Mac's voice over the edge of the roof. "Is that a dragon now?" He hooted in amazement, but Midsummer hardly heard it. The security officers were already dragging Rennie back towards the parliamentary river gate. Faster. It needed to be faster. Yet she had to be certain of her control. If she mishandled the dragon, it might smash into the building, could crush Rennie and the guards, who she had no desire to harm. "Hurry up, John," Midsummer thought, as she sent her beast arching over the parliamentary quadrangle. The guards had halted, staring upwards, dumbstruck. But she didn't want to risk snatching Rennie up in the creature's claws. The talons might rake the girl's skinny body or pierce her skull. They might break her or drop her. Midsummer didn't want to risk it, but she would, if that was the only way Rennie was getting out of there. She turned the dragon and sent it lower. Rennie was still struggling. The girl would be looking for any opening to kick a shin or bite a hand and escape. Then John burst onto the terrace. His hands cupped his mouth as he yelled something, presumably a command for the guards to release Rennie. Midsummer's heart soared along with her gilded beast. He could take it from here. He'd get the kid away safely. Buddha could be fobbed off with a line about mistaken identity. The child wasn't the blood fair fugitive, just a teen trespassing for a dare. Which was when Midsummer caught a flash of white blonde out of the corner of her eye. And something rocketed up from the river and slammed into her dragon. Midsummer twisted and groaned. Her chest felt suddenly constricted, and acrid panic burned her throat. She smacked her forehead to bring herself back to the moment. Focus. On the terrace stood Buddha Matravers, her hands upraised as if conducting the wind and sky.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.